Welcome in, beautiful people. We are here for Purple Sector Season 2. It is round number 7 here in Spain, and it is going to be a good and thrilling race today. We've got some quick drivers in today. Let's get straight into the action because qualifying is underway. We've got F. Dale, the first driver to set a lap time here today in that Williams. We should have Liam Doherty join us as well. He has gone into the Red Bull in P5 on his outlap, so he's managed to join nicely. It is only me today, unfortunately. Alex is away, so is Antonio. But nevertheless, as long as we've got Eve in the chat, should be alright. So I'm hoping that Eve comes through soon. But I don't think Venticus is driving here this week, so I might be alone, to be honest. So it might turn into Ben Huskin's podcast. But yeah, welcome in to everyone. I hope everyone's had a fantastic day. I hope everyone's preparing themselves to get up nice and early, especially if you're from the UK, for Vegas tomorrow. Luckily for me, it is the time that I get up for work anyway, so qualifying should be on in the background whilst I get ready. F. Dale, very, very twitchy on the rear end. I'm just going to double check the audio just to make sure that it's not absolutely horrendous. Sounds alright to me. I'm just going to increase the game volume by 1 click and then we should be good to go. But yeah, Ender Epic sets the fastest lap of the session so far. Youssef is rounding the final corner now, so is the Alpine. I believe that is Whip on, just starting a lap time. Youssef goes into P3. Chris's Billacoris is on an outlap. Ben Mills has invalidated, unfortunately. So right on board with Liam Doherty in the Red Bull. See what he's got to offer. Joined late, so I think he was rushing around a little bit, so we'll have to see if he's managed to get any sort of practice in. I'm not sure he does as the McLaren moves out of the way nicely there. I believe that was Pinnock or Ender Epic moves out of the way as well of the Alpine nicely. But Liam Doherty into this uphill left-hander. It's very tricky on traction actually. You've got to be careful not to put too much down, otherwise you will kick out the rears like the hind legs of a donkey, as Martin Brundle would say. DRS zone here on the mini straight. Braking hard, probably one of the heavier braking zones on this circuit, apart from obviously turn 1. And then you've also got another tricky traction zone at the exit of this right-hander in. Very, very easy, especially in the race when you're getting a little bit tired, to kick out the rears as well on that one. 2 high-speed right-handers now, just sort of like the Austria final corners. Liam Doherty backs off on his lap. Ag the Gamer is also on a lap. Whiffon goes into B2 nicely. Chris's Billacoris as well, purple in the middle sector. Bit of a slide when we start to ride on board with him now. But he seems to do that going pretty nicely. Now for the penultimate, nicely done, easy flat. And what's he do on the final corner? Runs off into the gravel. As Ben Mills is also backed off once again. I don't know if Youssef is going again, I don't think he is. So we'll ride on board with Dale as he attempts to get himself around for his next flying lap. So yeah, a couple of drivers struggling to keep it on circuit so far, so we'll keep on board with Dale, see what he can do. And yeah, I hope everyone's had a fantastic day. I'm just going to check the DMs on Discord because I've got a few. Right, let's ride on board with Dale then. It is his turn for his flying lap. He hasn't set one just yet, but here we go into the start-finish straight and into the first corner. Let's see where he picks his braking point. About 75 metres, I think that was, nicely over both curbs there, using the red track as the runoff, keeping that minimum speed nice and high. Bit of a slide through the high-speed right-hander. And then into this right-hander as well, and following the curb very, very nicely, and up to the next braking zone just before the 50-metre board. Turns in a little bit too early, and he has invalidated his lap time. F. Dale, F. Nuke now, all the F. drivers into the left-hander and making sure not to hit the yellow sausage curbs that are dotted on the inside of the corners that will bottom out your car into the traction zone. Nice and easy, flow the car out follow the curb on the inside, follow the curb on the inside on the final corner as well. Goes a little bit wide, but no, keeps it within track limits and goes into P2. About 22 thousandths off of your provisional pole time, which is Ender Epic of a 1:12.205. The Gamer is also on a lap, so we will ride on board with him as he approaches the middle straight. Nobody in Jayag. The Gamer slides through the right-hander. High speed, very easy. If you don't have the correct line, that can absolutely happen to you. FC Dalnut we've just watched on board, so we'll go and see if Dale has started his next flying lap. I don't know if he is. I think he's... Oh no, I think he's going again actually. FC Dale into that sort of little hairpin there. Nice job from Dale on the exit. I keep thinking it's raining. I think I always think it's raining because there's on the right hand tyre on the front right you can see there's a little bit of a glitch, so I always feel like that's some raindrops, but it's not. It's pretty cloudy. Well, I don't think we're going to see any rain here today, especially in this qualifying session. Purple in the middle sector for Dale. I'm not sure about that, but we'll continue to ride on board with the Williams and FZR driver as he approaches now the penultimate corner. Can he do it flat out? Goes up into 7th. Is he going to stay in 7th or drop down to 6th? He's going to drop down to 6th, which is an option to go for. Up to the line, FZR Dale puts himself into the top 5. Pinnock, apparently 6 temps up. This is going to be a huge lap for the McLaren driver. Can he make it a McLaren 1-2? Ender Epic is just about to cross the line to start his next flying lap. There we go, Pinnock up to the line. Is it going to be provisional pole? Yes, it is. And it is 5 tenths improvement from the McLaren driver, who I believe took pole a couple rounds ago. Brooks Skull invalidated their lap time. Ben Mills also on a lap. You can see everyone's really struggling for grip here in the circuit Barcelona Catalonia. Really struggling to keep it on track, as Ben Mills has also invalidated that lap time. So we'll go on board with Ender Epic, see if he can deny his teammate who's just took provisional pole away from him. See what he can do. 8 minutes to go in this qualifying session. A run, maybe 2, if you're already on a lap of it or you've already finished the lap. So we'll have to see what everyone can do. Can they get one more lap in after this one? They should be able to easy. Ender Epic round the final corner now. Can he take back that provisional pole position? He gets closer, but not quite close enough to Pinnock, who is into the pit lane. I think El Cone is what he's also known as, maybe on the Grid Finder standings. But yeah, if you do want to sign up, completely free to sign up. Only a couple more rounds to go after this one. But yeah, completely free to sign up. Also, prizes available for free, and get yourself involved in these races. Maybe a bit of practice, maybe you want to go for the championship. Thunderino, also known as Chris's Pilacoris, is absolutely dominating at the moment, but I'm sure next season you'll be able to get yourself involved in that championship fight. Ben Mills seems to have got himself a valid lap in now, as he rounds the final corner. Now, can he keep it within the white lines and get a lap on the board? Yes, he does. Takes it a little bit cautious. Up to the line, does a 1:26.6. I think he was just recharging his battery, and this is going to be his push lap. So, Chris's Pilacoris really struggling out there. Liam Doherty also weaving. He's on the intermediate time. I'm not really sure what those two are doing. Whiffon improving on his lap as well. Last Gen New also on a lap. So we'll keep on board with Whiffon as he's the furthest on a lap and the furthest to the line, closest to the line I should say. 3 temps up. This could see him, if he keeps on going like this, into the 111s, sorry. We've only got one driver in the 111s at the moment, so let's try and make it 2 by the end of this lap on Whiffon here. Here we go, round the final corner and up to the line. Whiffon can't quite, loses a bit of time. What can FCR Nuke do? He's down by 900. Has he gained anything in those final couple of corners? Yes, he has. About a tenth, let's say. Ag the Gamer on a lap, but he is down. Chris's Billacoris is not on a lap. Ben Mills on his push lap has turned off the battery again. So is he going to try go again? I'm not really sure what all the FCR drivers are doing, to be honest. Especially Liam and Chris's. I think they're just having a bit of fun. Ben Mills does improve, but it's not a representative lap time at all from him or Yusuf. Let me check the Discord. Just 2 seconds, guys. Right, back to the on-track action. Ben Mills is going again, and this is more like it from Ben Mills. Has he also turned the battery off again? I think he has. Not really sure what he's doing here. Brooks Skull is also on a lap behind, so right on both him after Ben Mills has completed his lap time as he rounds the final corner now. And goes into P9, displaces Chris's Billacoris. Brooks Skull up to the line, can he get himself into the 112s? Yes, he absolutely can. Into P6, that's nearly a 5/10 improvement from him. Liam Doherty, I'm assuming. No, he's still on the intermediate tyres. I'm really confused as to what's going on. Ender Epic now on his outlap for his final flying lap. I think he's giving himself enough time to go for a push lap and then back off and go again if he needs to. But Ender Epic just giving himself a bit of margin in order to settle up, just in case he does invalidate. It'll allow him to push again. I don't think he'll have enough time for a recharge lap, then another push lap, but he'll have to back out halfway through. As he's warming his tyres there, dips one into the gravel. Nice chrome livery on that McLaren there. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Here we go for Ender Epic. Can he make it work? Can he get and put a lap together to displace Pinnock, who took his provisional pole away from him earlier on in the session? This is the last chance for Ender Epic. He's got this lap, or if he aborts halfway through, he can go again. But Ender Epic down into turn 1. What can he do? Can he do it nicely? I'll tell you what, that looks really, really, really nice for Ender Epic. Let's see if he can continue this momentum for the rest of the lap. I think it was a little bit too early of an upshift there from Ender Epic, and he's 600ths down on his previous lap time, and he's sliding all over and spun round the car. That is why he gave himself a bit more time. Don't want to kick the race up too much, otherwise that'll be a lot of tyre wear. Wiffon will be approaching the McLaren now in P4, looking to get into the top 3, maybe even front row if he can, and of course pole position is in Wiffon's sights here. Only needs 4/10 if he can improve by that margin into the uphill section. Nicely done. A little bit too much over the curb there. Can he keep it flat out? I think there was a slight lift there from Wiffon, maybe a confidence lift, but uses all the track on the right hand side. He's 400ths up, so at the moment this is not going to move him up any places, but is there anything for him to gain in the final sector? Really, really tricky traction zone here. Plenty of time to get him through there, and he's done it quite nicely. So this should be an improvement from Wiffon as he rounds the final corner now. Let's keep it in track limits, and he does it quite nicely. Up to the line. Can he improve? Yes, he can. Goes onto the front row. FC Dardale as well. Just over a 10 foot let's see if he can get himself into that front row position. He also needs about 4 attempts to get himself involved in the mix. There's a Red Bull driver who moves in the way. I think that was a little bit too late. I think that was Liam Doherty as well, so we won't be happy with him. Pinnock also about to start his lap time, so right on board with the Gamer first. Liam Doherty, yes, on the intermediate. Gamer running out a little bit wide there. I'm going to check the chat quickly before Pinnock starts his lap. Anyone watching? No Eve, of course, with Venkus not racing. Venkus, sorry. I don't think there is anyone at the moment, which is absolutely okay. 4 attempts improvement from the Gamer. Then we'll ride on board with Pinnock, see if he can extend his margin out front. Brooks Skull, Efsad all on laps as well, challenging for that pole position. The Gamer rounds the final corner now. A lot of corrections on that steering wheel, up to the line, goes into P7. What is Pinnock doing is about a 10th up, so we'll see if he can maintain that throughout the rest of this lap. Here we go with Pinnock into the second sector timing zone. About 800th sub. Chris's pillar, Corris gets a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with Ben Millis, so these guys at the back definitely just having a little bit of fun, the Efsad drivers. We'll have to see if they trying to do a last to first challenge. Who's trying to get actually to the last place? Efsad Newt takes pole position, but it's quickly taken back away from Pinnock with a fantastic lap there. Dale is done as well. Brooks Skull also on a lap. Pinnock 1:11.570. Brooks Skull is done. The Game we've just seen finished as well. Ben Mills is finished as well. Chris's pillar car is on the intermediate. It's not going to make anything work out of those tyres. So Pinnock, right at his final lap, takes back pole position, and he's got pole position in round 7. Nice job from Pinnock, also known as L Cone. Nice job. It's quite difficult on your own, actually. I'll shout out to any commentators that commentate alone. Because it is quite tricky. Right, everyone coming into the pit lane now, so that should be the end of the session. Pinnock on pole position, followed by Efsad Newt in P2, Whiffon in P3, Ender Epic P4, and Efsad Dale rounds out the top 5. Right then, it is time for the race here in round 7 of Purple Sector. It's time for lights out. What tyres has everyone gone for? It's round 7. Not many chances for points left in this season. And it's the silence breaks and the battle begins here for round 7 in Spain. Who's got away well? We'll have to wait and see. Pinnock, I think, is clear out front into turn 1. Newt nicely swoops through as well in P2, retains his position. Wiffon and Dale fighting for that P3 spot. We've got a Mercedes going off in the background. That is Ag the Gamer. We've got Ender Epic running very, very wide. That allows Chris Pillacoris from towards the back of the field up into P5 already. Liam Doherty also jumps on the McLaren as well. Big slide as well for Liam Doherty. Chris Pillacoris down the inside on F. Dale as well. Already making the move. I think he's on the soft compound tyre, so we'll have a quick look. Everybody on mediums apart from Chris Pillacoris and Ag the Gamer. Chris is already up into P4, going for a differential strategy. Let's see if it can work for him towards the end of the race, as those soft tyres will fall off dramatically. Everyone making it through the first lap, and everyone's still within DRS of each other. Got to move towards the background as well. Liam Doherty on Dale, Ben Mills on Ender Epic, and we've also got Ag the Gamer back on Brooks Skull after Ag the Gamer lost quite a few positions at the start of this race. He's going to try and go round the outside in the tricky traction there, but can't quite make anything from that. Chris Pillacoris already up to P4, Liam Doherty in P5. Chris is all on the back of Whip on here. Is he going to go for the move? He's absolutely pushing for every position he possibly can get on this first lap. Chris Pillacoris down into turn 1. He's going to go for a late dive. No, he's going to stay behind on this occasion. Wiffon just dropped out the DRS of the front 2 already, so Chris is going to try get that move done as quick as he possibly can to make sure he can stay with that top 2. But Wiffon, through the first couple of corners, has managed to get himself back within that 1 second range. It's just hovering around 9/10 to 1 second, so Chris will try to make it past as he runs a little bit wide there. That's going to invite Liam Doherty to have a little look down the inside. Ben Mills on FZ Ardell. That's a little bit late and a little bit push and shove, let's say. Ender Epic as well, looking to pick up at the scraps on this one, but I think everything's just about calmed down from the first laps or so. Lap 2 out of 33. We've got a long way to go, so no need to absolutely rush any move, but Chris Pillacoris, that start will definitely help him in his quest for the win today and to extend that championship. Pinnock leads the way then as he completes the second lap. Wiffon got himself back pretty comfortably within that DRS zone. Of course, he's got not a lot of battery left, as Chris Pillacoris will be hunting him down as well. And I'll be honest, those softs probably already struggling a little bit as we're going for a move for the lead here. F. Newt trying it down the inside of Pinnock, but nice defending from the McLaren driver. Level up towards the rear as well. Have we got any moves going on back there? We've got Ag the Gamer, who had a little moment on the back of Youssef there. And Youssef, in that Racing Bull, has dropped out of the second range, so he will not be getting the DRS on Brook Skull _07. Top 7 all in a train as well. Ender Epic just dropped out of the DRS slightly. We'll have to see if these guys bunch up, as it is looking pretty cloudy. So is that soft, you know, a strategic choice for Chris Pillacoris? I know he started quite far back and wanted to make up the positions, but are we going to see any rain here today? Certainly on this screen, it looks very light in terms of, like, you know, the lighting. But if you go back on board, it looks pretty grey and cloudy. Chris Pillacoris, closest he's been to Wiffon, and he's going to use that battery, and he's going to go for the move into turn 1. I don't know why Wiffon wasn't defending or getting the slipstream from ahead, as Chris Pillacoris goes up the inside. Nice defending from Wiffon though, but Chris has the inside line in the next corner. Newt also tried it into turn 1, but Chris Pillacoris up into the podium places already. Liam Doherty now down the inside, follows his teammate through, and that is the 2 Red Bulls upper place over Wiffon. Nice job from the Red Bull drivers there. Lovely, lovely stuff. I'd argue that Liam Doherty is probably in the better position out of the Red Bulls now, because Chris Pillacoris' tyres are already going to be struggling. Softs are not very good on this game. Let's have a look. Venticus in the chat. Welcome, welcome. How are you? As we've got a yellow flag there in the background. I think that is Ender Epic, who had a moment there. I'm not sure who that was with, but Ag the Gamer really struggling on the race. You can see the other driver on the softs, apart from Chris's Pillacoris, is Ag the Gamer. And he's already struggling on the rear end. Let's cut back to the front though, as they are approaching turn 1. Now we're going to see a move in the background. A couple of people moving out the slipstream of each other, or maybe just cooling their engine. No moves yet in the top 7. What about the top 10? This is for 9th place here, into turn 1, round the outside. Ender Epic, can he brake late enough? No, Ag the Gamer defends that very nicely. Brakes late, but can Ender Epic go around the outside? Maybe a little switch back here. Runs out wide a little bit, maybe a bit dusty, that surface there. So Brooks Skull with a 3-second time penalty as well. Liam Doty going for a move on his teammate there. And as I say, those soft tyres will be struggling right now. Probably will have been for a couple of laps. So Liam Doty will be trying to get past Chris's Pillacoris as soon as he possibly can. Nice and late on the brakes there. It's just nice to watch him ride on board with some of these drivers. Up the inside, tries a little move, does Liam Doherty. Is this pressure from Liam going to force Chris into making a move on F New? Do apologise, guys, that I have to keep stopping, but I feel an illness slowly coming on, so I have to keep taking a drink. Ag the Gamer and Ender Epic having a little battle here. As, I actually don't know where Ender Epic is. I think he took to the runoff there, and he's really fighting hard here. Yusef's going to have a fantastic view of this as Ender Epic goes for the up and under. Nice move there from the McLaren. If he can get the better traction, a big contact into the wall. Fantastic avoidance skills from Yusef. Ender Epic's out of the race. Ag the Gamer up into the gravel. Manages to rejoin the track, but Yusef there did very well to avoid all that. Wow, that is a clip for you, Charlie, for social media. Lap 6. I'll write that in admin chat for him. Pinnock leads the way on to lap 7 out of 33. F. Dale and Ben Mills swap position. That's because Ben Mills has come into the pit lane. He's opting for a change of tyres already. He's going to go for a 2-stop here. I think he is, because he's going to go... Oh no, he's gone onto the hard compound tyres, so I think he's going to try go to the end on those. It's going to be a little bit of a struggle, because that's quite early. Ender Epic, after that collision, has left the session. Liam Doty trying for a move round the outside. I don't know how Chris's Pillacoris is still... His tyres are still intact, to be honest with you. Nice little switchback from Liam Doty there. He's going to try hang it round the outside, but it's fantastic defending from Chris's Pillacoris there, as he keeps that final podium position from his teammate Liam Doty. Track limits also a thing to keep an eye on in this race. We've already got one 3-second time penalty. That is for Brooks Skull _07. Liam Doty, even though he's on the mediums with a slide there on the high-speed right-hander. A bit of a lock-up as well from Chris's Pillacoris, and Liam follows him straight in. But yeah, you can see Chris is on the rears, really struggling for traction now. This should be Liam Doty. You can see him how much he's struggling. And as Martin Brundle said, like the hind legs of a donkey on that car. Surely Liam Doty goes for the move here. Surely he's got to go for the move into turn 1. I don't think Chris is going to fight it too hard. But then again, it is Liam, so probably is. As down the inside, Chris is going to fight it back down the inside. Little bit of contact between the two, and he does eventually let him go. F. Dale as well, looking to pick up the scraps, runs out a little bit wide, which scrubs off a little bit of his speed, which means he couldn't go for a move on the back of Wiffon. Wiffon will be waiting to bounce. He'll be able to see Chris's Pillacoris sliding all over the place. A little bit of contact between the two on the corner, mid-corner, But I think it should be okay. Liam Doherty just falling out with that fight with Chris Bilikoris. He's fallen out the DRS to the front two, but he should be able to gain that back pretty soon. As you can see, that gap is already falling. Chris is really struggling on the race now. Wiffon should be getting past as well into turn 1, I'd imagine. Unless Chris is boxers, he might box, you know, get off of them tyres because he knows he's already out of the DRS range of Liam Doherty. We'll have to wait and see what exactly he does. Chris Bilikoris is into the pit lane on lap 8 out of 33. The leaders have just started lap 9. Into the pits comes Chris Bilikoris. Let's see what tyres he goes from. Assuming he's going to go onto the hard compound tyres. Unless he tries the 2-stop here. As Dale is going to go for a move on Wiffon. No, he's not. So let's go back to Chris Bilikoris. He's onto the hard compound tyres, so he's going to go to the end from that. I'm surprised he made the softs last until lap 9, to be honest with you. So great job from Chris Bilikoris to only lose and drop out of a second of the top 3 just before he boxes. So nice job from Chris, and he should be well on his way with that undercut to potentially win this race. I'm not going to say win the race so far because Pinnock and Newt seem to have very, very good pace, and Liam Doherty is also in the mix as well. But boxing early, is it going to help Chris Bilikoris or is it going to hamper him towards the end of the race? Handing commentary off like there's someone to pick up on it, but no, there's no Alex, no Beauvais, so got to pick up on it myself. I'm a Celebs on tonight, guys, of course. Anyone been watching it? If you're watching stream back, let me know. DM me on Discord, fstar_Scorsky. I'd love to talk to you about it. Dale swapping places with Wiffon, finally got past the Alpine driver, has the Williams up into P4. He's 3 seconds behind Liam Doherty. Liam chasing down Newt and Pinnock for the race lead himself. Now has got rid of Chris Bilikoris, who was on the softs in the way between the two of them. As Liam nearly drops it there on the rear end, Wiffon closing up to the back of Dale once again. And Liam Doherty, is he also starting to struggle on the rear end? Here we go with Liam Doherty. Estadano is going to use the slipstream, not as much on it in this game, and the DRS to try keep away from Liam Doherty, who will be charging for that move and for that overtake. But Liam, I don't think he's going to be quite close enough. What about Wiffon on the back of Dale? Dale's got no DRS to defend from Wiffon, but Wiffon again can't quite get close enough to make the move. Ben Mills now is surely going to go for a move. It's a poor exit from Youssef there, and Ben Mills will swoop well past before the braking zone and up into P7. And wow, he's already dropped him by 8 tenths, just by using DRS. That is incredible. We're third through this race now. Pinnock still leading the way. Chris Bilikoris gone for a differential strategy, starting on the soft compound tyres. Made it to lap 9 before he boxed onto the hards. I'll show you the tyres right now. 3 drivers on the hards and the rest of the drivers on the mediums. Got 1 3-second time penalty. Chris Bilikoris already making his first move after pitting up into P8. He's now going to chase down the back of Ben Mills, and then it's 9 seconds up the road in Brooks Skull. Let's see what Chris can do. Like I said earlier, is this undercut going to harm him or is it going to help him? Only time will tell. Let's cut back to the lead group as Liam Doherty's actually dropped out of a second. I don't know if he's still got the DRS. Let's have a look. Yes, he's still got the DRS, luckily for him. Esidanu closes up to the back of Pinnock but can't quite make anything happen on this occasion, which is okay. What about Wiffon? He runs over the curb a little bit too much, bombs the car out, and that forces him a little bit further away from Esadar Dale, but still happily sitting within that DRS range. of the car ahead, which is Williams and the FZR driver. Let's get the lap data on fire as well as we close up to halfway stage of this race. Youssef into the pit lane. He comes out last of the remaining runners so far. Ender Epic, after having that collision earlier on, into the wall, DNF'd. I'm sure the stewards' reports will be pretty busy tonight after that one, and that is a talking point. Definitely one to go over as well. There's a couple penalties handed out after the last race as well, so let's make sure we keep the standards clean, ladies and gentlemen. Ben Mills into the grass as well. That promotes Chris's Pillacoris up into P7. Little moment for Ben Mills there. Didn't quite catch it. I'm assuming he just had a little spin. A little Valtteri Bottas moment, just cutting some grass here. FZR Newt into turn 1, gets close again to pin up, but can't quite make anything happen. We've got a spinner again, and that's Youssef at the same corner that we saw Ben Mills have a little trip into the grass. Bit of deja vu there. Liam Doherty back within the DRS and comfortably back within a second range of the cars ahead. He's having to push though. I think he is starting to struggle on those tyres. Maybe have to push him for those overtakes early on. That's damaged his tyres a bit more than the front two, but it looks like he's caught back up nicely to those front two. Maybe a couple laps, maybe off the pace for Liam Doherty, but he's back on form now and he's back well within the fight for this lead. And remember, it was 9 seconds to Brooks Skull from Chris's Pillacoris. It's now already 6.5 seconds. So that gap is closing pretty quickly. Pinnock into the pit lane. FZR Newt, Liam Doherty both stay out. Dale also stays out. Whiffon stays out. What is Brooks Skull going to do? Also stays out. And Chris's Pillacoris, this is going to be interesting. Where's he going to come out in correlation to Pinnock? Pinnock's made his stop. He's trundling his way at 60 km/h down the pit lane, and Chris's Pillacoris is going to be clear of the McLaren. So this is provisional race lead for Chris's Pillacoris at the moment. He has got 4 lap older tyres than Pinnock, but that is a huge advantage. 3 seconds as well. It's going to be probably 3.5 seconds when he settles in to the delta time. 3.3, 3.4 let's call it, as Chris's Pillacoris has a bit of a gap now. He's got the older tyres, of course, as I mentioned, but having track position, we know how good his defending can be. We saw it on Liam Doherty on those old softs. Can he keep Pinnock behind for the race when Ben Mills also retires in the pit lane? That's the second retirement of this round, which is round 7 out of 10. Plenty of time as well to get yourself signed up for the final few rounds, completely free. Sim Racing Centre codes as well, SRC codes, will be handed out for some drivers after this race as well. So make sure you get yourself involved. Prizes to be won as well in terms of cash and physical prizes. Some nice race gloves. Liam Doherty in the pit lane. Whiffon in the pit lane. Brooks Skull also stays out. Can see Chris's Pillacoris already down into turn 1. Liam Doherty only just emerging from the pit lane there, so that just shows you the advantage that Chris's Pillacoris has got from boxing early. Second 30-second time penalty now, and that is Ag the Gamer. As who was that pulling off there? I think that was Ben Mills' AI car pulling off. Let's hope he hasn't impeded. Yeah, he's pulled off to the side of the road. You can see him as he's now disappeared. Took a potion of vanishing. So while there's no one close, I'm just going to grab a bottle of water quickly, guys. I do apologise, but my throat is starting to go quite badly. Don't worry, guys, I'm back. Don't worry, I'm back. Because Chris's Pillacoris is chasing down the back of Brooks Skull. I fear we're going to have an overtake here. And it's going to be decided before the start-finish straight because Brooks Skull's in the pit lane. Liam Doherty back up into P3 as well. Sets a purple final sector. F new comes out the pit lane just behind the Red Bull driver of Liam. As that gap between Pinnock and Chris's Pilakaris has, if anything, extended out. So Chris is really showing strong pace here. As I think that is everyone who've made a pit stop. Yeah, one stop for absolutely everyone now. So it will be a fight until the end. I'm going to go grab a Strepsil, guys. I do apologise. I'm back. Luckily they're not far. They're only in my bedside drawer. Liam Doherty sets the fastest lap of the race so far. As you can see, he's pushing to try and get back within that DRS range of Pinnock. And that gap still, a lap later, stays the same between Pinnock and Chris's Pilakaris. So, fantastic pace from all three of them here. And it's going to get tasty towards the end, especially with the tyre difference as well. No real battles at the moment on track. It's just everyone trying to close back into the DRS range of one another. Liam Doherty probably going to be the first one to get back in a second of another car as he chases down the back of Pinnock. But he has got that 3-second time penalty. He's got a purple middle sector. You can see he's pushing the track limits. .3 is the gap. Can he do it on this next lap? Purple middle, purple final, but not another fastest lap. Nice to see as well. FZR Tier 2 all nice and full up. Lobby is open. As there we go, Liam Doherty's broken back in a second of Pinnock. This is going to be huge for Chris's Pilakaris. If Liam can get in front and start battling, that'll allow Chris's to extend the gap even more out front and come the end of the race when his tyres, when the tyre age is significant, he'll have that bit more of a buffer, and he can afford to not take too many risks. Chris's Pilakaris. That's if Liam Doherty gets past him. Pinnock might defend really well. But you can imagine the way that Liam Doherty is pushing, that he's going to get past him no matter what. Lap 19 now, out of 33. Are we going to see a Red Bull 1-2 come the end of lap 20? I think we very well might have, as Liam Doherty pushing for the move on Pinnock, nearly gets a track limit penalty. There's a little bit of lag there. But Liam Doty is going for the move into turn 1. Can he make it stick in the braking zone? Yes, the side by side. Pinnock just locks the rears a little bit, I think. Nearly slides out of the traction zone as well via the rear end. But Liam Doty makes the move up into P2. It's a 1-2 for Red Bull. 3-second time penalty though for Liam Doty. So Pinnock, all he has to do is stay within 3 seconds of Liam. And he's got that P2 back. But Liam seems to have very, very strong pace here. As he drops out that 1 second window, that could be absolutely crucial for the race result here. There's Pinnock, already 1.5. That's half the distance he needs. If there's another half of that distance, that'll be him out of the 3 second window of Liam Doherty's time penalty. Lap 21 out of 33, sorry. 1.5 is the gap still. This Liam Doherty is really, really pushing here. He might even get in the DRS of Chris's Pilakaris here. Are those tyres starting to fade for Chris's Pilakaris? He's got 4 lap older tyres than Pinnock. What lap older tyres does he have than Liam Doherty? Liam's on the mediums though. In fact, Liam's going to have to stop again. Liam has to stop again in this race. That changes absolutely everything. No wonder he's so quick. Let me double check the chat before Liam gets into that 1 second range. Still just Venticus, my goat. As there we go. He's in that 1 second window. He's got the magic number. And he's going to get the DRS on the next available opportunity. But reminder, he has to stop again. He's got medium, medium. I'm assuming it's going to be medium, medium, soft. I think that's Youssef. Picked up a little bit of damage there. Spinning at the final corner. Are we going to see a move for the race lead now? Lap 23. Chris's Pilakaris trying to break the slipstream on Liam Doherty. I don't know if it's going to be this lap because I don't think Liam's going to be quite close enough. Breaks into turn 1 and yes, Chris still retains that lead for now. Keywords for now. Nearly runs into the back of him there. That was disastrous for both. Imagine both Red Bulls take each other out. At the moment, Pinnock has gained about 2 tenths on Liam Doherty since Liam caught the back of Chris's Pilakaris. So he's within that 3 second window still. And don't forget, with Chris's being on the older tyres, Pinnock could still well be in for a chance of winning this race. He's got himself back in the DRS already. Oh, Chris's Pilakaris into the pit lane. That changes everything. I think Pinnock is just going to hang it out to the end now. Chris is probably going to come into the pits for the soft, but no, he opts for the mediums. He's realised that those softs were absolutely dead after about 7-8 laps, so he won't going to do that one again. But he's going to come out in P6, see how many positions he can gain. Definitely one to keep an eye on until the end of this race. Dale on the back of Whiffon as well. Pinnock on the back of Liam Doherty. We'll keep on with Pinnock, also known as Elko, because this is for the lead of the race. Pinnock's nearly dropped out of the second range, but remember, Liam does have to stop again in this race. You have to choose at least 2 different compound of tyres, and Liam Doherty has gone medium, so he is going to go softs at the end of this race. He's not going to go hards for what, 8 laps, surely. As Dale makes the move, but he's probably going to have to give that one back on Whiffon. As that is a back marker of Youssef. I don't think Whiffon's going to be too happy about that. Here we go. Liam Doherty finally into the pit lane. Pinnock takes the official race lead, and he's just got to hang it out now for the remaining laps on those hard compound tyres. It should be easy for him to do so. Liam, as expected, goes onto the softs. Where's he come out in correlation to Chris's Billicoris? Chris sets the fastest lap of the race. Liam, can he catch down Chris's Billicoris till the end? This is going to be a dogfight at the end. He's not interested in track limits. All he's interested in is getting this. Is that Pinnock who made a mistake? There's a yellow flag there. I think it was. Esteban New has got within a second of the McLaren driver. This is huge at the end of the race. Lap 26 out of 33. You can see the differential in tyres on the left hand side. .3 the gap, Chris's Billicoris to Whiffon. Not quite within the 1 second range to get DRS on the start finish, so it will cut away from the tyres. Really struggling on the throat now, guys, unfortunately. Every time I go quiet, probably because I'm coughing. Right, there's 2 battles. 2 battles to look forward to now. Whiffon on Dale, Newt on Pinnock, and also if Chris and Liam can get close to each other, or to cars ahead. Newt's going to challenge Pinnock here down the main straight. He's going to be close enough. There's a little bit of contact somewhere. Not too sure who that was. There's a brief yellow flag, so maybe a half spin for somebody. Liam Doherty with the fastest lap of the race. Is he going to go for a move on Chrissy Spilakaris into turn 1? No, he's not quite close enough. Is Whitman close enough to Dale? Not quite either. It's gone from there being no action to I've got to keep an eye out for every single battle on the track here. Got 28 out of 33, not long left now. Who's going to win this race? Is it going to be Newt? Is it going to be Pinnock? Podium's still all to play for, which is crazy. Here we go then, lap 29 at 33, Pinnock trying to break the slipstream from FZR Newt into turn 1, successfully manages to do so as well. Liam Doherty pushing for a move on Chrissy Spilakaris into turn 1. Takes a move down the inside, he loves a little fake, does Liam Doherty. He used to do that to him all the time. And he used to fall for it all the time, so he's giving it back. I like to see that he's learned. On the best. Chrissy Spilakaris going for a move up the inside of Whiffon. A little bit of contact pushes Whiffon into the grass. God, I'm really struggling here. I can't believe that it's a fight for the podium after looking at those gaps about 10 laps ago. No way would I thought the podium's not decided. Here we go, Chrissy Spilakaris up into P3, nice job. Liam Doherty also slams down the inside and gets the move done nicely. Very late on the brakes from the two Red Bull drivers. Right. Last 3 laps then. If I can make it through, it'll be an absolute miracle. Where do we look here? Liam Doherty is going to go for it. He tries the fake again on Chrissy Spilakaris. FZR Newt as well. This is for the race lead though, so I think we're going to have to stick on with this one for now, unless an obvious move is made behind. I don't know where this has come from in my throat, but it's just all of a sudden. Into the business end now of the race. The dying embers We're approaching lap 32 out of 33. What's Newt going to do? Is he going to stay behind? Or is he going to go for the move and try pull away? I think the smart option on this game is to probably stay behind. Let's see what he's going to do. He's going to pressure Pinnock into the first corner, but he does opt to stay behind as expected. Pinnock nearly locks up and goes off track, but manages to keep on. Liam Doherty quite make the move on Chris's Pillar so either whiff on the same with Dale, but we'll stick with the front two. I'm going to get a quick drink before the final lap. Here we go. What's not decided? The podium's not decided, but Liam has got a 3-second time penalty, so if Chris can just keep it within 3 seconds of Liam or Ed, that'll be him on third place. It's a fight between Pinnock and Newt for the race win. Let's go on board with Newt. Is he close enough? This is the gamble though. He didn't quite go for the move on the previous lap, and this lap is not quite close enough either to go for the move. Opted to stay behind on the previous lap, but can't make the move on the final lap. There's a couple more overtaking opportunities for Newt, but time is running out for the Sauber driver. What about Liam Doherty? Has to correct a little slide as well, so he can't quite make the move on Chris's Pillar just yet. Same with on Dale. 3 tenths is the gap between Pinnock and Newt. This is it now. Half a lap to go. Couple overtaking opportunities. Liam Doherty and Chris's Pillar swapping places. Liam ghosted, so I think there's a bit of collision there. There's also a Mercedes inside, but let's cut to the front. FCR Newt can't quite make the move stick on Pinnock. That's the problem, waiting until the final lap. Just wasn't able to make the move. Come the final lap, and here we go. Pinnock rounds the final corner here in round 7, Purple Sector Season 2, and takes the win in Spain. Newt in P2, Chris's Pillar in P3. Liam Doherty sliding around in P4. That might allow Dale into the 2-second window, and it does. Dale takes P4 from Liam into P5, whip on P6. It's going to be Brooks Skull into P7, Ag the Gamer and Youssef complete the final few points of this race. My voice is finished, guys. That was a struggle. I don't know where it came from, but out of nowhere, I just could hardly speak and stop coughing. Right, let's get the results. Let's get the session results. Let's get the race director if we can. There we go, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Apologies about my voice. Let's have a look at next week. That was round 7 here in Spain. Next week is Jeddah. That should be a good one. Hopefully, Alex, or at least Bove, will be back with me on that one. But yeah, thank you very, very much for watching. And we'll see you next week, hopefully, when I've got a recovered voice. Goodbye, guys.